might like to go to the show. To feel the warm thrill of confusion, that space cadet glow. Tell me, is something eluding you, sunshine? Is this not what you expected to see? If you want to find out what's behind these cold eyes, you'll just have to claw your way through this disguise. Coldness everywhere. Okay. Probably gonna get a copyright hit for this one. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes you just got to give it a try and let the chips fall where they may, you know what I mean, mate? That's the way the cookie crumbles, isn't that what they say? I don't know if I like this. I might have to erase the whole bloody thing. There's something about it, it's not working right. Oh, bloody hell. Right, for now that'll do. Let's see if anyone is joining me in the chat. Who's here? Splattercat, I can't believe it. It's you again. Right. Good to see you, mate. Can you hear the music? I don't know if it's too loud or not. I really don't know. I haven't listened to The Wall in 100 years. Oh boy. Okay, so I got some new pages here. Hey, Gondorian, it's me again, like turd that won't flush. So eloquently put there, sir. Fine, sir. You are clearly a master of the English language. So I did some new pages. There's actually another one. I don't know where it is. This is the part where Militia Man, I don't know if you can see it, he talks with Westguard, and they're kind of having it out. Like, you know, he's like, listen, you know, we used to be friends. You used to be in MAGA Force. You know, stop this. You know, come back. This, that, and the other thing. And then Westguard is basically saying, you know, you're a fool. There's no system. There's no law. There's no protection for white people. We came here to protect the protesters, you know, and the police have been ordered to stand down and, like, you know, oh, no, you know, the rule of law is going to save us all, Militia Man says. And he's like, you're a fool. You're a fool. And then the shit hits the fan. The fists start swinging. The new MAGA force has got Sheepdog. He's badly injured. They're taking him away. And so Song of the South interrupts, and he's telling Westguard, we got to get out of here. They've got one of our teammates. We're outnumbered. You know, we gotta fall back, you know. So there's a little bit of a fight scene, and then they escape. And then shit gets really dark after that. I don't know how well can you see these pencils. I'm always afraid you can't really see them very well because it's so light. But I guess I got like a lot of old pages that need to get finished, but I want to start the new ones. So I'm like a kid that doesn't want to eat his vegetables, you know. Just want to get right to the dessert. Memory. Maybe this one will be good so that you guys have something nice to look at. Family album. This album, The Wall, it's like one of those Daddy, what else did you leave for me? That line hurts like intensely because my dad died when I was 18. What would you leave behind for me? All in all, yours, just a break in the wall. All in all, it was all just bricks in the wall. Gondorian, hey man. Yeah, so the wall, I got it when I was, oh jeez, gosh, how old was I when I got the wall? I got the album on vinyl. I 14, 15, I don't know, 15-ish maybe, I don't know, but I can't talk about it. Memories are too painful. It's too painful. And did anybody see the movie The Wall? You guys see that? Alan Parkins? Is that Alan Parker? I forget the director's name. Um, English director, of course. Um, might fast forward this song. It's so hackneyed. I've heard it a bazillion times. This is the thing I hate about the radio is they always just play the same songs from like whatever bands. Like if I hear Bohemian Rhapsody one more time, I'm gonna tear my ears off. It's like, for God's sake, like Queen's got tons of great music, but you never hear it. Even this song is kind of overplayed. Maybe I'll fast forward it. Yeah. I think the film The Wall is genius. Um, yeah. So do you guys know Cliff High? High. He just put out another video. I don't know if I'm describing him well, but he created some kind of internet algorithm that, with some degree of success, predicts the future through reading the internet, things that happen on the internet, etc., etc. And he's got some very bad predictions. Very bad predictions. His theme is survive 2025. Pretty harsh. It's a weird kind of bad though, because it's like some of the good gets better and the bad gets worse kind of thing. And you'll just have to look him up yourself and determine what you believe, what you think of his predictions. I've been following his show for a while. Interesting thing about Cliff is he is a decades-long practitioner of Aikido, which is a really interesting Japanese martial art. I don't know. I don't want to get all doomsday-ish though, but I won't. So I won't. I like them apples. I was listening to my stream last night and I was like, who is this guy? Who is this revolutionary? It's fucked up how just wanting to save your world is revolutionary. It's like it's like hey guys, the ship is going down. Let's stop it. Oh, put him on a list. You know. We're gonna need to seize your bank account. Hey guys, the house is on fire. Let's all put it out. Put him on a list. What shall we use to fill the empty spaces where waves of hunger roar? Where we used to talk. How shall I fill the final places? How shall I complete the wall? I'm just a boy, stranger in this town. First thought this song was totally out of place with this album. It's like, it's just like this kind of rock and roll kind of song, and I'm like, the mood, the tone, the meaning, it's like, what the hell does this have to do with the wall, I guess I'm crazy. Well, it's, it portrays, what's his name, Pink, as this kind of like drug-addled rock star. Make me feel the man. Oh, bam, set me free. Any of you guys see the movie The Wall? Show of hands, please. What do we got here? Debugger is here. Hey, Donald. What has Cliff previously predicted correctly? So, I'll say like I'm cautious about like or rather not cautious. I don't sit around keeping track of every single thing he does and matching it up with XYZ, but I will see general uh, connections. I guess is the best way I can put it. You know, I really should like have a little notebook and then you know check off like a Cliff High notebook and check them off. You know. One thing I can say confidently is that like, he certainly knows what's going on. One of the very weird things about his show is that whenever he mentions, there's certain things that he'll bring up, and you know he's talking about the you know who's the those who cannot be named, and suddenly his audio will go silent. Like there's, I assume he or somebody edits his videos. Thanks for continuing to recommend people to look up. Oh, cool, cool, cool. You're gonna have to draw your own conclusions. He's there's enough there to put him on your radar. It's like people like him and Brendan O'Connell and Dark Journalist X are like bread and butter. Like they're the go-to. They're like standard dudes that you should have on your radar. I'm not saying I'm like a cult follower of these guys, but you'll see fairly quickly that they're like extremely well informed and highly intelligent, and so there's something there that you're gonna benefit from. What I'll kind of pop out a little bit about what his recent show was about. He was talking about how on the good side, this song, then you guys see how Trump is defunding essentially like the Democrats and like the machine, if you will, and you know the whole system of you know how these crooks operate is about to collapse because of these you know these policies, the Doge policies, I guess, you know, that they talk about it like, oh, let's clean up wasteful spending. It's, it's that's the pretty way to call it. It's about stopping criminal corruption, you know, chronic criminal corruption inside our government, which is entirely Democrat run, and you know, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. But that does play into the whole everything that we've ever seen from like you know the last Trump admin. So one of the points that he made is that the Antifa cells are going to. Hello there, True Cell. Welcome and welcome to Kicks. Great to have you guys here. Doing some comic book illustration and listening to some tunes and talking politics. I gotta turn that music down a touch. Which artworks, comics of yours would you recommend for first-time readers? Of mine that I've published? This is. Hold on 10 seconds to see if I got it handy. If you go to my. Let's say you go to the homepage of this YouTube channel, you'll see my website link. It's called kent-art.weebly.com. Click on that. It'll go to a book called Imperium Calling, and I've got several of my comics published in there. So you can knock your socks off with that, my friend. Very creative art style. Thank you. Actually, I'd like to know what would you how would you describe this art style? Like, what does it remind you of? What can you? That would be very very useful to me to hear that. Does it look like anything that you've seen before? Does it have a Chatelet? Welcome, Flash. Always great to have you back, my friend. We were talking about Cliff High just a moment ago. Oh yeah, here's some of the other penciled pages. They're you can't see them very well, obviously, because they're penciled, but been doing a lot of work, a lot of penciling work, my friends. And this is a cool sequence here. I'm all over the place. Slate modern, eclectic drawing sort of look. Okay, that's an interesting way to describe it. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. This show is very much about audience interaction. We have just some of the coolest people and the coolest conversations. Metapolitics, culture, philosophy, spirituality, UFOs, just wild. It's anybody in the any of my regulars can tell you, you know. Oh, yeah. So let's see, what am I doing next? I guess I'll get back to this page. So just to wrap up what I was saying, so I guess the funding for Antifa is gonna dry up real fast, and these are people that are like they get like a I don't know, some kind of a card that has money put on it, and then they live off that. You know, they're like that. And when the money dries up, they're going to go to the people who have been supporting them and for, you know, for money, you know. Those are very powerful people. They're not going to take that lightly. That's not going to go well. So you're going to have a lot of like Ronin Antifa that, you know, don't know how to, they're going to have to like get a job or something, I guess. I don't know. Is that good, bad? How does it relate to us? How does it affect us? I don't quite know, but there'll be. I think that when people get desperate, bad things tend to happen. That's sort of my view on that. Funny, not funny, but like I know this like super liberal guy out on the dance scene, and I got him to admit that he has attended Antifa meetings, and like he moved out of town, but I don't know if I should like ask him, you know, if I should like find out more about that. Not I'm obviously I'm like the opposite of Antifa, you know. I'm very much against that. They're technically a terrorist organization, but I guess it's just, you know, what do they say? Keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. You know, so you know their whereabouts, their doings, and all that fun stuff. Let's see, Soy Goy Rose, hey, forget about it. Get out of town. Hey, Soy Boy Goys again. Where you doing, man? Where you been? How's your sister? We must. How am I doing? I'm all right. You know, I'm good. Actually, I'm pretty good. I, yeah, I'm actually very good. But like this, there's just always like things on my mind. You know, it's like the guy that's like trying to figure out how to save the world. You know, it can get a little exhausting being Donald Kent sometimes, as you could probably imagine. But I've actually a lot of good things happened. You want to hear some good news? How about that? Let's change the mood, shall we? You know, from Pink Floyd to I don't know, Rolling Stones or something. Like we'll get something a little more positive. Let me just quick check make sure I'm responding to everybody here. Thanks for. I've not seen The Wall. It's strongly recommended. Which artworks comes very creative, modern. We must acknowledge that Trump is the anchor point for the right, so that they don't go any further than where they are and remain conservative. Guys, we got a new friend in the crowd. Thank you for your comment, and thanks for coming to my channel. Yes, we talk quite a lot about controlled opposition. We talk about how, you know, the global elite small hats have infiltrated the right. That's their new project. And that, you know, Trump is the Trojan horse of the new, what I call the fake right. Elon Musk has been, you know, prepping us for this deception for a long time. You know, the so-called free speech absolutist. It's a deep topic. I think I will have to say that a lot of it for me is still speculation. You'll see like Trump will do something really really great on the surface of it, and then turn around and do something like what the fuck? Like today he just announced that the American military is going to go into Gaza and like, you know, clean up all the buildings and get rid of all the landmines, and we're going to turn it into, you know, a wonderful commercial area, and it's going to be better than it's ever been before, you know, the usual Trump isms. And, you know, I'm like, what? Like, I mean, I knew that Israel was going to do that. You had Jared Taylor was literally saying things like, that's going to be great beachfront property. Fucking scumbag. Disgusting, disgusting scumbag. I mean, on the bones of fucking dead children. And I mean, the man is not human as far as I'm concerned. To talk like that is just so vulgar. It's so anti-human, you know. Just don't get me started. But I'm already started. So what else can I say? Yeah. I don't wanna. I feel like I jump too quickly at a lot of these things though. I feel like I don't quite have enough analysis on the true machinations of like how all of that's working. Fortunately, I'm surrounded by like super intelligent people that have really, really, really good insights, and we have like really brilliant conversations on this stuff. So there you go. And now you know. Oh, special people. Yes, well said. That's a good way to look at him and anchor point. Yeah, everything bad that he does, he covers it up with some good deed, like Mr. Beast. Ooh. That's the playbook, you know. That's the playbook. Yeah, I know, I don't know, man. My whole thinking is that like everything from here out is really, it's really got to be more about community building and like off-gridding, so to speak, like opting out of the great beast, you know, that is world Zionism. World Zionism. Holy shit! I just coined like the best phrase ever. Because world Zionism is not like, oh, you know, Israel's our country. No, the whole world is our fucking country, and you are our slaves. And you know, we can depopulate you with this, that, and the other thing, and blah, 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 blah. I'm just quoting rabbis who talk about this all the time online. Yes, sir, Bob. So here we go, and you know, another day in Goyslop land. So I thought I was going to change the tone. I thought I was going to talk about positive things. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Come on, just try. Just try. Try to be positive. The world is crumbling around, but be positive. It's like these manifestation things, you know, where they're like, you know, you've got to feel it. You've got to believe that, you know, all your dreams are coming to you. And while the reality you're currently struggling through is the opposite of that. You got to gaslight yourself. That's a new song I'm going to write. Gaslight yourself. Holy shit, that's going to be a big hit. Woo! Okay, Did I say positive? Let's talk positive. Underrated creator, not gonna lie. Who are we talking about? You guys are off and running. I want to do that, but I have some medical problems. I'm sorry. Which creator are we talking about here? Did you hear about Arvol's intentional community? Is that the guy? Oh boy, he used to be like in the proprietarian movement, and he started a community in like I think Georgia or someplace, and he like he vlogs on it and stuff. I'm thinking that might be the guy you're talking about. And yes, of course, if it's him, obviously I know who that is. Okay, so here's the good news. Before I forget, this is one of those like don't get yourself too excited about it. Be cool as a cucumber. So a lot of you guys. Well, let me read the chat here. So Roy says there was a guy who made a community for our people legally in the Ozarks. No, it's got to be the same guy. He made it. He made it so the land is a share people buy to make it legal loophole. Yeah, I have to. I gotta get back, and like look that guy up again and start following his stuff. Actually, I need to like sort of get him on my show and like show him the stuff I've been working on. That's actually a really 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 good point. Thank you for bringing that up. So this is very mundane compared to what we were just talking about. I go dancing on Saturdays and blah blah blah. I have a good time. It's my little sort of fun time, escape from reality, and it's really healthy. It's like a lot of kind of club friends and beautiful women and just real healthy thing to do, physically, spiritually, socially. Spiritually, I don't know if it's spiritual, but it just is really healthy and fun. And so when you're out, and you see, there's different kinds of ladies out there, and like, okay, that one's way out of my league. Don't even try. And then like, oh wow, she's cute. Or, oh hey, I got a vibe going here, and do and this and that, and fun, talky, flirty. So a buddy of mine, who's like very alpha male, super tall, super fit, got the look, like he's the man, he's a really really great DJ, super fun guy. So he's seeing this girl who is like his station, if you know what I mean. Like she's his station. I don't know, that kind of sexual market value thing. And I've seen her around, mutual friends, this and that, fun times, ha ha ha. And I don't know how, but like we just started talking out and about. I knew that she was dating him, so I wasn't gonna like. I wouldn't make a move anyway because she's out of my league. Okay, let's just be honest. Okay. So anyway, this looks beautiful. I'm really pleased with this. That's quite nice. So, I knew in my head, I'm like, they're never gonna make it. Like he's too manic. They're not. They'll be broken up in like a week or two. And sure enough, I was right about that. So, and then she follows me on social media, and the fun times and ha ha ha. And I noticed she's like watching every single reel that I post, like every single one, all the time. And I post a lot of real based political shit, that most women don't like because it's not fun. You're not entertaining me, that kind of shit. Entertain me. And she's just like a trooper. She's going through and all the hardcore shit, and she's like eating it up. So I'm like, fuck yeah, man, all right, this is cool. She's cool, you know. So, um, then we kind of were sort of chitty chatty here and there, and little one or two messages, and a little cute talkie. We see each other out at the club the next week, and dancing together and going to the bar and talkie, fun. But I'm still like, she's out of your league. Don't get just drop. Don't get all like excited about this. Just try to enjoy it while you can. So we do, haha, and then a little more and a little more, and then today she invites me to go dancing on Friday. So, straight out of the gate, I'm like walking on sunshine. I'm all like, holy shit, So that was quite, you know, that made me feel like $1,000,000. Come on, man, don't take that away from me. It felt like $1,000,000. So I'm sitting there, I'm like at work, and I see her text, and she's like, and the way she asked me is like, very cutesy and coy, and she puts a sweet little, shy face emoji on there, and that's all lovey dovey. And I'm like, va va voom. So that made my day. That really, really, got me jazzed, But then I'm like, okay, don't fuck it up, And then later, even after that, I'm like, you're just overthinking this. Like, don't, like, honestly, don't overthink this. Just enjoy it. Because, like, sometimes if you get too excited about these things, that's actually when you do fuck it up. And I thought to myself, there's no real future in this, because she's right at that age where her, like, uh, I don't know, how old is she? Probably she's got to be in her 30s. So her eggs are screaming right now, if you know what I'm saying. She is screaming to find a man and get pregnant, biologically. Um, so there's that. Anyway, it's just a nice thing. Just a nice thing to lift you up. So I got something to look forward to coming down the pipeline. Let's see. Or should I go back to talking about politics and Pink Floyd? People always tell me that starting a commune will result in another Waco. See, this is part of the whole thing about, like, everything is this, we're all terrified to do anything for ourselves. It is not a commune, but an LLC. That being said, you're correct, sus. There you go, and there you go. So, like, I'm with you on that. Like, I have the paranoia, and it's a healthy paranoia. Simultaneously, if we continue to live like this, I think we're fucked. I think that we really, really have to find some way to build our own communities. One thing to me, the thinking is that, I don't know, they can make it hard on us and this and that, but at the end of the day, you decide what you buy. Like, you have, like, the power of the purse, as they say. That, if we opt out of paying for our own, genocide or whatever, through the corporatocracy. You see where I'm going? I don't want to get into a big hoopty-doo about that, but I feel like, we could weaponize boycotting things. You know what I'm saying? And what are the corporations going to do? Force us to buy their fucking shit? You know what I'm saying? But obviously that, is problematic in many ways, in terms of, like, well, I need this or something. But I'll give you an interesting example. So the whole Trump tariff against Canada thing. So I'm listening to Canadian radio, and they're talking about, like, all right, Canadians, if Trump is going to do this to us, then how are we going to what's our response? And then they started going down the line and saying, like, for each product, these brands are American and these brands are Canadian, so buy Canadian. And I'm like, that's exactly the fucking thinking. That's exactly the idea, is to know what is what brands kind of represent where the money is going from that, etc. And then be intelligent about it. You know what I'm saying? Is there just not if you can? Is there come on, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet, okay? I need some info. Because don't mind me like mouthing the words of the songs. Can you show me where it hurts? I love the way Roger Waters sings. Like he's not like David Gilmour, who has like the voice of a bird, who's like has this beautiful angelic voice. Instead, it's it's Roger Waters. It's kind of it's got its own timbre to it, or if you know what that word means. It's its own thing. It's just a normal voice, I guess, but it's not that. It's the drama with which he delivers the lines. Like he enunciates, and when he wants to be sarcastic, stuff like that, and it just delivers, man. It fucking delivers. It's so cool. Because this is probably a lot of where I got my political personality from, is fucking Pink Floyd. You know, starting from Dark Side of the Moon on up. Dark Side of the Moon is very, very existential in terms of like, it's a portrait of the human condition. And then whatever this and that's a whole discussion in itself. But yeah, interesting stuff. Um, Animals is extremely political. I love Animals. That's like my fucking favorite album of all time, almost. Phil Collins is my cup of tea. Hey, dude, Phil Collins in Genesis was good. Like early Genesis, I'm sorry, just after Peter Gabriel left. Until he went to the I Can't Dance Walt Disney Zone. All right, I have to read some comments to catch up with you, sons of. All right, Ozarks, people, Waco, Sus. I'm glad you got a date with a cute girl. Oh, dude, she's beyond cute, man. I mean, like I said, it's gonna feel fine. I don't, not gonna lie. I'm with this like super alpha female. Like she's like this gorgeous like German Irish mix. Like it's like step back, like whoa, and to be like her guy that like we're clubbing together, we're dancing, hanging, talking, you know, and just mingling and it's like when you go out dancing, it's nice to have like a kind of like an anchor group that you kind of come back to, your friends, whatever. So that's gonna be a good time. I'm just really gonna enjoy it while I can. We need people to have more white kids. So even though I'm a bit older than her, I I seriously would consider that. I seriously would consider that. I know that's people who know me IRL are kind of like rolling their eyes right now, but I don't give a fuck. Moving on. I'm gonna be the leader of the Homeless Person Legion. All right, man. There you go. Get that started. Boycotts work, but we also need other products as alternatives for people to turn to. Right, which means create those products, create the economy. If we had implicit pro-white comic normal book companies with good stories, they destroy normal publishers. Well, dudes, if you know, that's the dream, my man. That is the dream. If this can go full scale, like, I mean, I want to have anyway. I'm not gonna. Yes, and is the answer. Okay, so Phil Collins, haha. There's an awesome Pink Floyd AI video about what? What song is it? Very trippy. I'm a big fan of Yes, dude. Splatter Cat. Dude, you're like a brother from another mother, man. Because I'm a massive Yes fan, dude. I fucking love Yes. I'm a massive, massive Yes fan, dude. Prog rock. Prog rock, bro. Anyway, Dark Side of the Moon. I literally have in my will that I want Dark Side of the Moon played at my funeral. And put that in your pipe and smoke it. And I'm not even kidding. I mean, that's how much I love that album and like how much it represents me, you know. I don't know if anyone's gonna come to my funeral. Well, I don't know. I mean, I understand that your your soul lingers for some time, like so many days, and so you do kind of get to see things like your funeral. It's a kind of a painful thought. I probably shouldn't. It's a little morose there. Let's move on. So, Dark Side of the Moon, doesn't it have that Black Lady screaming song? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna blow your mind. That Black Lady is a British white lady. My whole life I thought it's called The Great Gig in the Sky, and it's otherworldly. It's like an epic, amazingly beautiful song. We all know what we're talking about. It's just piano and her like singing. It's off the charts. It's insane. And there's like a documentary of Pink Floyd, and they interview that woman. She's like a studio vocalist. She toured with some band as like a backup vocalist, and she was like just an industry female vocalist, you know. So like, okay, Pink Floyd has this concept for a song, and they need, a female vocalist to come in, and they're gonna try out a couple different singers, and like, whichever one that they like, they'll keep that track. And she came in, and I think it was like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 in the morning or some shit when they called her in. Some just weird. And they explained to her what they wanted, and I don't think that was the first take. I think that might be a little too legendary or something, but it was the first or second take though that she did that, and she just like it was just jaw dropping, just you know otherworldly, like literally, just so freaking amazing. And like again, like the, for my whole life, I thought that was a black female that sang that, and no, it was a British woman. So don't tell me that the British ain't got no soul. Ah, yes, fun times, fun times. So it doesn't have the budget. So we need all the community initiatives we can get. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I think it has to be a lot of decentralized, apolitical, low-key initiatives. You're very right. You're very right. I don't. I wonder what Trucell's laughing at. I would really like to know because I can't time the chat with what I'm saying. But da da da. Okay. I'm sure people would go to your funeral. You're a cool person. Maybe I misheard you in my comments on group. No, no, no. I did say I want. I don't know if anyone will go to my funeral. What are your thoughts on rock post 1997? Now we're into some real conversation. So you guys have to stop me from myself. You have to like, you know, give me questions so that I don't like go off on these insane tangents. Okay, so I mean these are just my opinions, you know, regarding rock and roll, whatever. 1997. So I was never like a big 80s guy. I think 80s was great for punk rock. There were a couple good things in there, but like a lot of people are very like nostalgic about the 80s. Fine, okay, whatever. But the 90s. So here's what I'm trying to say. There's a type of algorithm, I guess, of what's popular. And so let's say, okay, what's punk rock today in 5 years will be mainstream radio play. And so when that becomes normal, it sort of runs for a while. It has a little shelf life. And then people get sick of it and rebel against it. And then there's a new underground that is like, you know, maybe college radio usually is the environment where that kind of stuff, you know, grows or what have you. And then it's something new. And then it's this, that pattern repeats itself like over and over and over. And it's just something I've noticed. But here's the other side of it though is that the new generation that thinks it's like hip and cool and breaking new ground or whatever, they generally are just copying something from the past that like they identify with somehow. So that's sort of outside of the question in a way. It's like a different kind of answer, if you can understand what I mean by that. So yeah, I like for me, for my tastes, I think the '90s were a pretty exciting time for music. Although I don't have like a huge romanticism. Maybe there's some songs in particular that I really like or something. And I often confuse the '90s with like the early 2000s. I've noticed like Foo Fighters, or this or that. There's a lot of great. What do you call it? When did Radiohead start? When did they come out on the scene with Creep? When was that? Radiohead is pretty much timeless, like punk Floyd. You know, like they just have their own planet. You know, that they inhabit basically. So I don't know. Here's my point, though: is this? I don't like commercialism in anything. I don't like it when music is sort of commodified, or art or anything is commodified. And so to me, that's the death of art. You know, it's like okay, you know, or film, for example. Hollywood right now is the worst in this way, and it's just like just recycling the same bullshit over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it's the same characters in you know different situations, the same fucking attitudes, the same jokes, the same tropes. I want to like tear my eyes out. It's so fucking horrible. I just can't stand it. So I hope that answers your question. I hope I'm not being annoying. Favorite disguise. My eyes. And you're hungry. The Strokes. Oh yeah, yeah. The Strokes. So I thought they were fun. You know, I thought they were fun. I still think they're fun. I think I saw something about the Strokes that like the lead singer's father is like CIA or some shit like that. Like that shit exists. Like there's the CIA had a lot to do with the sort of hippie music movement. We had this conversation actually on one of my previous shows. Courtney Love's dad used to sell LSD at Grateful Dead shows, and like to like arrest people and like push the drug culture into mainstream America through that, because the hippies and that whole thing in a way is an extension of Marxism. So like it's just the next iteration of Marxism. It's whatever rebels against the mainstream. The problem is it's the '90s. Like I don't actually have a romance for the '90s in the sense that like the '90s was when they were breaking all the rules. It was like the beginning of like gay marriage. You had like all this kind of potty mouth humor with like Beavis and Butthead, and everything was just it was this idea of like break the rules, whatever the rules are, just break them. And back in the '60s or whatever, the so-called rules that were being broken were like, we don't want to go to fucking Vietnam. That was like a whole other kind of there's reasoning behind that. Whereas in the '90s, it was more like how degenerate can you get, kind of. It was sort of like that type of shit. And I don't vibe with that. I feel like what we need to do instead is find tradition and keep it and expand on it and grow whatever tradition is, master it and work with it, get better at it, you know, because our identity is in our traditions. In Asia, like, you know, like traditional Chinese painting, for example, it doesn't, you're a good painter if you master the tradition. You're not a good painter because you like boldly rebelled against tradition and started something new. That's like, why would you do that? The mentality is like, no, we don't want to destroy our culture, our heritage. We want to, you know, we want to preserve it. So we have to master it. You know what I'm saying? You see the thinking. It's a very different thinking. And I think like the '90s was the kind of the beginning of like extreme liberalism. That was sort of the beginning of things like those comedy shows where you get your politics more from like Jews instead, Jewish comedians instead of like from say I don't know, Fox News or CNN. Who are the guys I'm thinking of? Bill Maher. What's the other fucking guy? That's a total psyop. That's a complete psyop. You know that like they have a kind of a way of doing things where they mock out. They make a joke. It's a process. They make a joke. They mock somebody out, and then they slip in a political opinion, and then you know all the young impressionable people who don't know shit about history or any fucking thing, they just adopt the opinion of like the comedian because like, oh, this is funny and edgy and cool and I want to be you know with everyone in my generation. It's very sneaky, typical, cultural Marxist mentality, that kind of trickery. So this song here, Waiting to Follow the Worms, if you know the album and you know the movie, this is one of my favorite parts. I remember watching this in the theater and being kind of scared at how much I liked this scene. I was like, I'm not supposed to like this. Why do I like this so much? It's so powerful, you know. Waiting. Anyway, it's just a movie. Let's read some cool commentary. We got some freaking great convos going on today. Did you know that Watto from Star Wars was promised the Sand People's land 4,000 years ago? Oh my god, that changes everything. True Cell says, I could never imagine the garden being popular in 5 years. The garden, I don't know. Soundgarden? Dude, I remember watching your live stream. Jewel Noble is here. Jewel Noble. Which live stream did you watch? Wait a second. Jewel Noble is. Are you one of my. Did you change your name? Because your icon looks like one of my previous fans. Anyway. Sogoy Roy says, even if you do something new, you want to build it on, not destroy the tradition of the past. Thank you. True Cell, this era will be very strange in history. Hegelian. Oh, dude, that's the one. Hegelially. So, like Hegelian dialectic. That's funny. That's super true. And that kind of circles us back to Cliff High, and some of the shit that he's talking about. Like, we're we're in strange days, man. We're in strange days. Kali Yuga, Surf the Tiger, Survive 25. Just remember, guys, Survive 25, okay? This era, let's see, what will the synthesis be? The Garden is a modern punk rock band. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know it. Jewel Noble. I'd have to zoom in on your icon. I can't see it that well on my phone, but anyway, so Jewel, tell me about the live stream that you watched of mine. All right, I'm gonna turn the tunes up a bit because I'm just in the mood for that. Let's see. This song and this part of the movie. Oh my god, this is crazy. Good morning, the worm, your honor. The crown will plainly show the prisoner who now stands before you was caught red-handed showing feelings. Showing feelings of an almost human nature. This will not do. Call the schoolmaster. I always said he'd come to no good in the end, Your Honor. If they'd let me have my way, I could have played him into shape. But my hands were tied. The bleeding heart's an artist's. Let him get away with murder. Let me hammer him to D. Crazy. Toys in the attic, I am crazy. Truly gone fishing. They must have taken my marbles away. Toys in the attic. I don't know if you can just hear me. I hope not. Hopefully you can hear the music a little bit. You little shit, you were in it now. I hope they throw away the key. You should have talked to me more often than you did. But no! You had to have your own way. Have you broken any homes up lately? Just 5 minutes, the worm, Your Honor. Him, me, alone. If you, I probably sound like totally insane singing the lyrics of this song, but like, Roger Waters is a genius. And here's an interesting thing. He's one of the most outstanding voices against the war on Palestine. I mean, he's I don't know if you guys follow Roger Waters, but like, he's way out there. He's way out there. Like, he's very, very politically vociferous. And it's funny because, like, he confronted like accusations of being a Nazi or sympathizer or something because of his anti-Israeli posts, what have you. And he talks about that. It's quite in detail. Let me read the comments. Jewel says, I think it was the one you were drawing a goat skull. Okay, so that was a little while ago. Oh, God, I love this part of the song. Will these also be sold in paperback? Yes. The answer is yes. What is the story about? Okay. In all my years of judging, I've never heard before of someone more deserving the full penalty of law. The way you made them suffer, your exquisite wife and mother, fills me with the urge to defecate. I'm sorry, going through a Pink Floyd thing. My friend, you have revealed your deepest fear. I sentence you to be exposed before your peers. Tear down the wall. All right, what is this story about? Let's get to it. I'm sorry, no more Pink Floyd for Uncle Donald. He gets a little weird. It's like too much whiskey at the Christmas party. Hold on. All right, back in the bottle. What's it about? Okay. Militia Man and MAGA Force. Okay, so it starts off like this. There is a popular superhero team in America called MAGA Force. Make America Great Again Force, starring Militia Man, pow, pow, pow. And they're sponsored by, you guessed it, Judeo-Christian News. So Judeo-Christian News covers all their stuff, and they're like their marketing agency. And unfortunately for MAGA Force, Judeo-Christian News is run by a certain character who is called Klaus Sorrows. Klaus has let's say, a taste for children's blood. He's a certain kind of person, and he decides one day to use his space laser technology to destroy and kill all of MAGA Force so that he can hire the new Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion MAGA Force, which is much more representative of America because diversity is our greatest strength. And so he and his network of cronies, they go ahead and they try to kill MAGA Force, but unfortunately for them, it turns out Militia Man didn't die in the explosion. And no human being could survive such a blast. So something's terribly wrong here. When Militia Man discovers that Judeo-Christian News killed all of his teammates and thinks that he's dead, then he had to come to terms with the old members of MAGA Force, which are now called Fash Force. And that's Fash Force right there. They left because they figured out that Judeo-Christian News is not America first. And so now there's this mysterious old man who saved his life, and he's kind of reintroducing them to Fash Force to go after Judeo-Christian News and George Soros, or rather Klaus Soros, in order to save the world, because they are using their technology to open a portal to another dimension. And guess what's on the other side of that dimension? It's that beast, that creature that you saw before. I'm looking for the page and I can't find the page. There's like 60 pages of art here. I'm never going to just be able to pull it right out. But anyway, you get the idea. Here is a kind of a... anyway, just go back and look at my other videos and you'll see more. So what would make a cool... That would make a cool poster. That's exactly what I made it for, is to... This is colorized. And I'm going to sell copies of this on my new website when I find time. Soygoy, I love this art. Makes me want to learn to draw even more. Indeed. This is very real. Yes, exactly. They're trying to do that in the real world. Hello. So that's what art is about, is reflecting the real world, you know. Only I'm choosing to do it in a kind of a superhero narrative. So, because that's what I jive with, you know. That's the fun stuff. And in addition to that, there's this cult of Noahide, and they you can see the like the coexist tattoo there, and they do a lot of bad stuff. They're basically the ones that go riot and burn down cities and kill right wingers and stuff. I wonder what that could compare to. Anyway, getting back to work here. I let's see if new page. Which page should I do? I guess I'll do this one. Not quite finished with it. I'm sorry, guys, for being indecisive here. I'm trying to figure out what's my next page. It's almost 10:30 where I am. What is the story about? I read that. Okay, I think we're pretty much caught up on the chat. They look the symbol of the eye and made it evil. Yes. Yeah, it's gonna take, you know, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. It's like, you know, I want to do this full time. You know, I want to break out. I want to break free and be able to be a full time artist. I have, you know, around 5,000 subscribers if you combine all my different platforms. And it's just about, you know, squeezing in a couple hours a day towards realizing this stuff. But it's the type of thing that you really would need like teams of people to help you with, you know, and lots of money. So I'm gonna shut up and get drawing here. I want to hear some music. Threatened by shadows at night and exposed in the light. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Crazy diamond. So the story about Roger Waters, I think, is worth talking about. So he's a humanitarian. I guess he's probably. I can't really put him in a box. Is he liberal, conservative? I'd say he's more liberal leaning. But anyway, what? So his father's death in World War II really, really shaped him, as my father's death did when I was young. And it turns out that his dad, you know, he was drafted or whatever and went to fight the Germans. And then he survived and he came home and he discovered the Communist Party. And he joined the Communist Party in England. And then he went back to fight. I think he was in France. And that's when, you know, I guess he was in a bunker and the bunker got bombed by the Germans and he died. So it's kind of, I didn't know that his dad joined the Communist Party and went back to war to fight the Germans as a communist. That's fucking bad. That's extremely bad. But it kind of like shatters some of my thoughts on like whatever. It's just it's stupid. It's nothing to really worry about. So, but I feel as if like people that fall for communism are sort of like, oh, what's the word? Like they mean well, and then they buy into the shit, you know. And we know that the communists lie. You know, we know that. We know like the Bolsheviks, we know what they do, how they are. So, if you're sold a lie and you buy into it, then are you really a communist? Are you really, you know what I'm saying? Um, tough to say, like, I don't know. I don't know. That's actually kind of a curious question. It's sort of maybe an ethical question of some kind. Muy interesante. Mr. Jackson, your conversation is very interesting. Please talk more about the communism in Pink Floyd. Let's see. As you get to know my show, you'll find that I like to do accents. It's kind of fun. I'm just a frustrated actor. What else have I got to say? Anything interesting? I'll tell you after Friday night. Ooh. My gosh, it's funny. So, there's a lot of things I could say about that, but like, I shouldn't, so I won't. I'm looking forward to Friday night. This particular club that we're going to, it's real cozy. It's very cozy. Of course, I know the DJ playing that night. I just recently kind of became acquainted with the owner of the club, who's a really cool dude. He's like a musical engineer. He has his own music studio, and I reached out to him about recording my songs there, and he sounded like cool with it, and he didn't like say, okay, well that's gonna be $100 an hour, right? So like, if this dude will allow me to record my music, das ist gut, ja. Oh, so very good. So that would be fucking sick. That'd be great, because I have so many songs that are like halfway in development, and they're really, really good new songs. But it's like, why write the song if I can't fucking record it, Smarty pants. Okay. Splattercast says, wishing you the best with your lady friend. That is very well received. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I do. I wish I could show you a picture of it. But again, don't get excited. Don't get excited. Just enjoy it while you can. One thing I've learned about women over the years is that they're very flaky. And it's like, I don't know, it's just part of the deal. It is just part of the territory. So like, there you go. I do get the impression that there's more to her though than just like a pretty face. Like I'm not gonna like, blow smoke or something and make her out to be something. I'm still just getting to know her. But she's not like a club girl, put it that way. She's more like a girl that comes from like an upper middle class suburban family, and she's kind of sensitive. She's not out there to impress anyone, and she doesn't wear like really revealing clothes and all that kind of shit, She doesn't have like 10 pounds of makeup on her face. It's more down to earth. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, just to be good friends with her would be like a total score. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be completely cool with that. You guys are like, come on. Anyway, I can never write the chords for the chorus. Really? I didn't know. Oh, that's writing music is such a tricky thing. Hardest part of the song. I'm kind of. Would you guys? Should I grab my guitar and play some of my songs for you? That they're not, I'm not gonna sing them, but I could play the guitar parts if you want to sort of hear. Or maybe I should just keep drawing. I really should be wrapping up soon. I gotta work tomorrow. Yeah, play us a tune. All right, I'll turn off the Floyd Boys. Let me get something to look at on the screen here. Hold on, I'll put this on. Oh, sorry, just 10 seconds here. I only have 2 arms, okay? What are we gonna do? Come on, pick it up. All right, well, I guess we'll do this. It's not terribly exciting, but something to look at anyway. So I'm gonna grab my guitar and I'll just jam out a little bit for y'all. Okay, Pink Floyd, shut up. It's my time. Okay. All right. So, okay, I gotta first see if I'm in tune. Sounds okay. All right, the guitar is like right up next to the phone. So, do you have any 8-bit processors? I do not. That would be fun though. Let me first. Oh, that's a little flat. What do you think? What do you think? A little kind of groovy, rock and rolly. Sweet. So maybe. Which one? Okay, I'm gonna do kind of a. You guys can hear it, okay? It's not too shitty. Anyway, I will play something a little different. I gotta get more focused. A little up. So what do you think of that one? That one's. I like that. It's sort of like, I don't know. It kind of, to me, it's sort of Pink Floyd-y in a way, although this that part is more, I don't know, rhythmic. Anyway, that's lighter, more sweet. You should resolve the end part with a high bass note. On the that is that what you're referring to? Oh, see, that's an E. Um, that chord, what the fuck chord is that? I don't even know. It's like an A minor derivative. So, and I'm using that harmonic, and I can't even tell you what it is. Let's do something different. Do you guys want me to keep playing music? Yes or no? Um, Music, more music, no music. Shut the hell up. Talk about women. Let's see. Yeah, I like the music. Okay, cool. Let's see. How does this one go? Anyway, there's a little, that's kind of a fun, whimsical song. I'm gonna write this, probably like a love song, like a fun, cute love song type of a thing. Um, Hey, Brother Kent. How's it going? Keep up the great work with the drawing and the music. Sounds awesome. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated indeed. Yes. Let's see if I got another. So I don't know if singing into the phone is gonna sound like shit on your end or not. I don't know. I'm afraid to do that and then play it back later and go like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to delete this whole show. Can you do Beverly Hillbillies? No. Sorry, buddy. That's not my wheelhouse right there. Sorry, bro. That's... Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, gents. I gotta go to bed. But oh man, now I've got like the guitar bug, and I'm like, I want to play guitar. Oh, let's see, is there one more? I'll do just one more. All right, on that note, I shall bid you adieu. So you guys have a wonderful night. Hope I wasn't too annoying in this show with all that Pink Floyd stuff, but God bless you, love you, keep it real, and peace out. Stay safe, my brothers. I love you. Take care, man. Okay, see you next time. Have a good night.